Hey everyone, today's video is some joint preparation for a lower body pushing day. So this is a great way that we can warm up and prepare our joints so that we can improve our working position. That way we're getting the most out of our strength training. So you can just throw this stuff in before, the night before, the morning of a squatting day or any sort of lower body pushing that you're planning on training. So to start, we're just going to do some hip cars. We're going to do these in a quadruped position. So we're going to go hands and knees. And our goal is to keep our back as flat as we can, not get too much rounding or too much arching or movement out of our spine as we take our hip through its full range of motion. So to start, we're going to do 2 reps on each side. We're going to bring our heel up towards the sky and squeeze our glutes. Keeping our shin perpendicular to the floor, we're going to pull our legs straight out to the side. Now we're going to rotate our femur so that our heel drops down towards the floor, pull our knee up towards our elbow, drop back underneath, and then reverse. Knee up towards the chest, keeping the back flat. Bring that whole leg straight out to the side. Lift that heel, drive the knee back, squeeze the butt as soon as you can. Pull that knee straight behind you and drop back down. That's 1 rep. Let's do another one. Abs are nice and tight, back isn't moving. Heel up towards the sky, leg out to the side. Rotate the heel down so your femur spins. Knee up towards your elbow, knee in front of your chest, and reverse. Knee towards the chest. Bring that shin straight out to the side. Lift the heel, drive the knee back, squeeze the glute as soon as you can, drop back down, and we'll switch sides. I'll change my position for this one just so you can get a different vantage point. Same cues though. Let's start knee up towards the ceiling, squeeze the glutes. Abs are nice and tight, so no arch out of your back. Bring that whole leg straight out to the side. That side butt should want to cramp. Then rotate, drop the heel down. Pull that knee up towards the chest and reverse. Knee up to the chest, straight out to the side. Lift the heel, pull the knee back, squeeze the glute as soon as you can. Knee behind you, back down. Let's do one last one. Arms stay nice and straight, abs are squeezing. Trying to move that hip separately from everything else. Everything else in the body is nice and still. All right. After our hip cars, we're going to get into the 90-90 position, and we're going to do some internal and external rotation eccentrics. So again, we're just taking our hip through its full range of motion and loading that tissue to improve our working position. The more range of motion we can access when we're doing specifically strength work, the more tissue we can train through that range of motion, the more strength we can build in our end ranges, which is, 1, mobility, but also strength training. So we're going to focus on our back leg. In the 90-90 position, that's a 90 degree at the front knee, 90 degree at the back knee. We're going to start by taking our pelvis and rotating our pelvis all the way forward. From this position, we're going to turn our pelvis back as we drive our foot down into the floor. This is going to eccentrically load our internal rotators. So we're going to rotate our hip so that our foot presses down through the floor. And now, keeping that tension constant, we're going to slowly turn back with our pelvis, basically sinking deeper into that range of motion while adding force. Once you hit your end range, once you can't go any further, relax and reset. Rotate forward, drive the foot down, turn back, relax, and reset. Let's do 3 more. Nice and slow. With each rep, you're going to try and ramp up the intensity. So you're going to push harder each rep. Slowly relax. I got 2 more. So my 4th rep, my intensity is going to be not quite a maximal effort, but pretty close, an 8 or 9 out of 10 on our intensity scale. My last rep here, I'm going to give it a pretty good push and slowly move into that range. Now to focus on my front leg, I'm going to do the same movement, right? Not the same movement, but the same idea. I'm going to create rotation out of my front hip, right, to work my capsule, to improve my capsular space, which improves all ranges of motion. I'm going to do that by driving my ankle down through the floor via hip rotation. As I'm driving my ankle down, I'm going to lean forward to create a bigger pigeon stretch, bigger stretch on my external rotators. Once I can't go any further, or once I lose the ability to produce force out of that hip rotation, I'm just slowly going to back out of it. So I'm going to press my ankle down, I'm going to lean forward with as flat a back as I can get, then I'll relax and lean back. And again, just like the last leg, By increasing the intensity each round, we're going to, one, warm ourselves up, but two, get a little bit more space to work with as we prepare for squats. Last rep. And relax. Very nice. To switch sides, we're going to do a bear sit transition. So I'm going to glue my left ankle down, my left knee down on my right side. I'm going to pivot over my heel and pull my knees as far apart as I can get. So this is driving down into the floor as this lifts up and over. When I absolutely need to, I can take my other leg up off the ground. I'm going to keep this one behind as I try and lay this leg down onto the floor. Once I have, then I can bring this other leg down. And we're on the other side of our 90-90. I'm going to adjust so that I'm a little bit more in the middle of our frame here. So now in this position, same thing. We're going to go through hip capsule rotation. Internal rotation will be first, so we start making sure we're in the 90-90 position. That's 90 degrees at both knees. That gives us a ton of leverage to resist rotation or to create that rotation. We'll start by rotating all the way forward with our pelvis. That's turning our pelvis over that front hip capsule. And from here, we're just going to create that hip rotation. So on my back leg, I'm going to try and turn my femur externally, increasing the pressure at my foot against the floor. So press down nice and light on our first rep. And all we're doing is increasing that stretch by turning our pelvis back towards that leg. Slowly relax, rotate forward, press the foot down, rotate back, slowly relax. Each rep getting a little bit more intense. Press down, rotate back, slowly relax. Give me two more. You should be kind of near the upper half of our intensity. Slowly relax. One more, near your max effort. So long as it's pain-free and it feels like a safe effort, slowly relax. Good job. Now on that front leg again, so we're going to rotate forward. Now for this one, to create a better contraction, we lean forward, right? But we don't lean forward by rounding our spine. This is not necessarily doing anything for my hip. To better target this tissue, I want to make sure that I'm tilting my pelvis forward and reaching forward through my belly button, trying to bring my belly button to my shin. Does that make sense? I hope so. Okay. Ankle down through the floor, ready, push. Lean forward, belly button to the shin. Once you hit your end range, slowly relax and lean back. And you may find that your right side is different than your left side, so just adjust your intensity or the range of motion that you're going through accordingly. It should feel safe. It should feel like a reasonable range of motion. If it feels sketchy, you might be in too deep of a position or you might be producing too much force. So just adjust as necessary. One more. And relax. Whew, good job. We'll bear sit transition back. So in this case, right ankle, right knee down into the floor as I pivot over my left heel. Pull my knees as far apart as I can get them. One hand behind if you need to, and lay both back down into the 90-90 position. All right, we're going to get into the combat base next. This is going to improve a little bit of our knee function, loosen up some stuff in our lower leg. So for this, I'm going to collapse as much as I can on one side, as much knee flexion as I can here. If your knees don't tolerate knee flexion very well, if they don't bend very easily, or your hip, you're getting a pinch in your hip, you can do this one seated. It's not going to be quite as intense. You can also do this one up against a wall. That's going to be hard to see, but where your knee is bent and your foot is up against a wall like so. Both of those are good options if you're getting a hip pinch. If you're not getting a hip pinch, this is by far the best way. So we're going to go knee over our toe as far as we can. And we're going to keep our knee over our toe as we just passively stretch this. So we're just breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Your heel can be elevated a little bit, but we don't want to be taking the stretch away by taking our heel pretty far off the floor. So we want to keep our heel relatively close to the ground and drive that knee as far over our toes as we can get. From there, we're going to do pails and rails. Our pails and rails in this position are pretty challenging, especially the rails contractions, but these are positional isometrics. So we're resisting length and then creating length by shortening the opposing tissue or the regressive tissue. So in this case, our pails contraction, or resisting the length on this stretch, is for our Achilles tendon. We're going to try and point our foot through the floor. So I'm stretched. I feel a stretch on the back of my leg. I'm going to drive my toes down through the floor like I'm stepping on a gas pedal. Ready? 3, 2, 1, and push. A nice moderate effort here. 5, 4, 3, 2, slowly relax. Your position's going to stay the same. And now we're going to try and pull ourselves deeper into the stretch by lifting our toes up and driving our knee forward. You should feel the front of your shin working super hard in this position. Keep lifting, keep leaning forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly relax. Let's do that one more time. Drive those toes down into the floor. Ready, push. Point that foot. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly relax. Lift those toes up. Pull. 10, 9. Closing this angle here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly relax. Great job. We can come on out of that position. We're going to do some knee cars next on this side. Then we'll switch. Keeping your foot flat on the ground, make sure you have tibial rotation. That's a real key here. We want to see our shin bone move separately from our hip. By keeping our foot flat, we're making sure our ankle isn't compensating or pretending that we have shin range of motion. Once you've established range, then externally rotate, extend, internally rotate, and bend. We're just going to do 2 reps in each direction. And then we'll switch sides. Combat base on the other side, we'll passively stretch our knee over our toes. Breathing in this position. Again, if you're getting a hip pinch or you're getting some discomfort in your ankle or you're getting pressure on the front side of your ankle, you can do this one up against a wall or up against a stair, something that can elevate your toes, and you just bend your knee. And that makes a little bit of an easier position if mobility is an issue. Let's do some pails and rails. Toes down through the floor. Big deep breath, nice light effort on our first contraction here. Ready? And push. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly relax. Rails contraction to lift up. Ready? Pull. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly relax. Try and sink a little bit deeper into that position. And one more round. Push down with the toes, pointing the foot through the floor. A little bit more intensity this time. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax and lift up. Squeeze the toes up towards the shin. You should feel that thing on fire. Woo! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly relax. We'll pull out of that position and we'll go through some knee cars. Establish that tibial rotation. This guy, you can go hands on the front of your knee, not on top of it, just between your knee and your shin, and you should be able to feel that rotation. If you don't feel it, you should be able to see it. The edge of this bone here is rotating separately from my hip. Didn't get the mosquito, dang. Once I've established that I have movement here, I'm going to use that range as I go through my knee car. Externally rotate, extend, internally rotate, flex. Externally rotate, extend, internally rotate, flex. Ping pong into the other direction. And relax. All right, the final thing before we get to squatting today we're gonna do some air squatting. All I like to do is just 5 reps with a 10-second descent for each rep. So arms out in front, you're gonna build a lot of body tension. Guide as much tension in through the hips and back through the knees as with each rep. Ready? Start to hinge. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back up. And again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And up. 3 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and up. With each rep, trying to pull your knees into your chest. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and up. Abs are nice and tight. Last rep. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and up. Good work. Go squat. Let me know how you feel. Later, guys.